Hi everybody, my name is Bree and welcome back to my channel, Bree's Arts. All right everybody, so Christmas is just around the corner and it's time to get going on our Christmas DIYs. So I thought that for this week, I would just show you my top 10 DIYs that I did for last Christmas. I really hope that you enjoy this compilation video, and with all of that being said, let's get into the first project. DIY number 10. And so I'm taking a couple of pieces of 4x4 and I've cut one 8 inches and one 10 inches. And I'm going to take my chalked white chalk paint from Bristolium and Sublime. Paint them up. I did use 2 coats of that white chalk paint. And check out these adorable little toques. I got them at Dollarama. Aren't they just so adorable? Oh, I love them. And yes, I did say toques. These are toques, not beanies. It's a Canadian thing. And so I just took a little bit of polyfill, filled up the toques so that they're, nice and kind of poofy, and put them on top of our little blocks of wood. Now taking a few buttons here, I got these at Dollarama as well. I'm just going to hot glue those onto the white pieces of 4x4 here, and these are going to be our little eyes, just tucking them under, about halfway, just so they're kind of peeking out of the rim of the toque, and then taking some hot glue and just securing the toques right onto the wood so that they don't move at all the way around. And there we go. Look how cute. Okay, so taking a couple of these wooden Christmas trees, I got them at the Dollar Tree, and my orange chalk paint, I am going to paint these up, and these are going to be the little noses for our snowmen that we're creating here. Don't they work out perfectly? Oh, these little trees just, noses. And just grabbing a little bit of hot glue and throwing those on right in between our eyes there. Look how cute they are. And now taking a couple of these burlap roses. I got them at the Dollar Tree in the fall, I believe it was. And there's a lot of extra material that's on the back of them. So I just, snipped that off with my scissors so that it sat a little bit more flush. Taking a piece of this pine branch and just hot gluing those to the toque. So, we have a girl snowman and we have a boy snowman. They're so adorable. And taking this beautiful burlap and lace ribbon, I got this at the Dollar Tree as well. We're just going to create some scarves for our snowmen here. So the first one, we'll just, tie it in a knot and then cut off the excess so that it's the right length for the tails there. Eventually, I promise I cut it off. There we go. And then I just kind of put a little knot in the middle, like a faux knot. So just folded it over, put some hot glue there, and then a little bit of hot glue under the tails so that they're, so they don't move around too much. And then taking this adorable ribbon, also from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to create a scarf for our other little snowman here. So again, just grabbing a piece there, cut it off, create a knot. This one is just going to be a regular old knot in it. And I am going to secure that down with some hot glue on both sides of the tails there. And that is it, you guys. Look at these. Look at these snowmen. I love them so much. And they were so easy. And aren't they just so adorable? Oh my goodness. DIY number 9. And this one is probably my favorite of these Walmart dupes. You can see there that this piece is $20 at Walmart. And I'm just using one of these Dollar Tree signs. I got it a really long time ago. I have seen them every now and then. And just using my Aleene's tacky glue and a piece of scrapbook paper. I got this set of scrapbook paper. I'm pretty sure it's called Farmhouse something or other from Michael's, by the way. And it has all of these beautiful wood looking prints in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And now using one of these brass rings that I got at the Dollar Tree in the springtime, came in a set of 3, so I'm using the smallest ring. And I just figured there was a little bit too much pattern in this scrapbook paper. So I'm just taking a teeny tiny bit of white chalk paint and my chippy brush just to kind of just stress those, you know, the boards down a little bit, making sure to go in the same direction as the wood is going on the scrapbook paper. And it worked out perfectly, just to dull it down just a teeny bit. And now I cut this decal out on my Cricut. This is directly out of Cricut Design Space. You just have to search up Peace on Earth and it will show up. And centering that, well, not quite center, it's a little bit off center. And putting my ring on. So in the inspiration piece, the ring is kind of hanging down from a piece of twine. So just using my braided rope here from Amazon, and I just hot glued it together and put it in the center of my piece there. Cut off the excess because I didn't want it to hang down like in the back of my frame there. So hot gluing that into place and making sure that everything's all centered and good to go. All right, so these pine branches, I am running super low on the pine branches from Dollar Tree, you guys, and I'm so sad because I cannot find them anywhere, but these ones are from Dollarama. So same diff. You could even flock these if you wanted to have them look a little bit more snow covered. I actually liked the green, the natural green on there instead of flocking them with white. But you know what? You do you. And we're just hot gluing a few of them down in the lower corner of our wreath form. Oh, and then Abby, my daughter, just poking her head in, being a pain. She had just gotten home from hanging out with her boyfriend. And she's got a bug mom. And taking a few of these pine cones. These are from those packages like the vase filler. I actually bought these back in the summertime. It was so bizarre. Like they had a ton of them in the summertime at Dollar Tree, and now you can't find them. Like they're all, they're all gone. I was just at Dollar Tree today actually, and we have 4 in our city, but I was there at one of my Dollar Trees, and their shelves for Christmas crafting are looking pretty bare, not gonna lie. And so I placed 3 of those pine cones in there, then just filling in a little bit more, just to make that a little bit more full, I guess. And then grabbing some white berries, and this is a pick I'm pretty sure from the Dollar Tree, just to finish it off. Hot glue those into place, and that is it. I absolutely love this piece. It's so neutral. It's so pretty. And the one from Walmart was $20. I did mine for $3. Check it out. Christmas DIY number 8. All right, so these pieces of wood, these are just, scrap tongue and groove wood that I used actually in my previous house to cover one of the walls. And I just, we moved all of our scrap wood over when we bought our new house 5 years ago. So, it's always good to keep your scraps, you guys. Isn't it pretty though? And I used my Antique Wax by Waverly and gave them, all 3 of them, a coat of that antique wax. And then I cut this stencil off on my Cricut with my 813 Oracal stencil vinyl. And I'm just going to use some white chalk paint and my dabby brush and dab, 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 fa la la, all the way across. Dab, 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 dab. Pulling off the stencil vinyl as well when the paint is still wet. It's just easier that way. And look at that. And here I am apparently going to show you the exact same thing. So putting my stencil onto the wood and dabby brush. And this one says peace. So same thing, pull it off while it's still wet, weed out that vinyl. Look how cute. And it's rustic and woodsy and gorgeous. I love it. And so now we're going to do, on this third ornament, we're going to do a reverse stencil. So when I weeded it out, I left the letters instead of like the opposite, right, as a stencil, and going over there with my chippy brush with some white chalk paint, very, very rough coat. We want to keep it rustic looking, and then pulling off my letters there to reveal the stained wood underneath. Isn't it so cute? And so I showed you the Christmas trees from Dollarama in the previous DIY. There were 2 kinds of snowflakes as well as a package of angels. Aren't they so gorgeous? Now I know that Dollar Tree also, you can get little wood cutouts like this. If you don't have a Dollarama, you can absolutely use those. And so here I'm just painting up the angel and the Christmas tree with my white chalk paint. And I'm pretty sure I just leave the snowflake as is, like just with the raw wood. So painted those up, and then we are just going to adhere them to these little wood planks with some hot glue. And do that to all 3 as well. Just like that. So cute. And so here I'm going to take my power drill, drill a hole in each one of these, and then again we are going to take our twine and we are going to, I fold the twine in half, push like the middle through, and then pull that loop through, bring the other 2 tails in through that. I threaded a raw wood bead from Amazon through each one, and then tied that off on the top into a knot, cutting off the excess. And that's it. We are done. Look at how pretty. So easy and so gorgeous. Christmas countdown, DIY number 7. Okay, so these little tags I did get at Dollarama. I know that Dollar Tree has something very, very similar to this. It's on a little bit of a smaller scale, but you know, same kind of concept. And so with the lettering here, on the first piece, I tried my best to sand it off and it came off not too shabby. But then on that second piece, it just did not want to sand off at all. So I am painting it with my white chalk paint here, and I probably maybe should have painted it black first and then gone over it with white because it would have covered the letters a lot better. I had to do, for real, like 4 coats on here. Now, with this cute little sign, I just, again, cut this off on my Cricut, and it says, "Dear Santa, define good." I love it. It's so funny. It's so great. Look at that. How cute is that? Okay, so just so you guys know, I completely messed up my filming here. So I'm going to explain this to you without actually showing it to you, but you guys will get the gist of what I'm doing here. So I am cutting this ribbon. I'm pretty sure I actually got it at Michael's, and I just cut it down the center, and then I am going to make a bow. So, you know, just taking the 2 pieces, making this super simple bow, and then I do use some satin string or something. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I got it from the Dollar Tree, this stuff right here. What does it say? Satin cord. And so that's what I'm going to use to cinch the middle of my bow. And I'm just going to tie it off and wrap it around a few times. Of course, it's out of frame. I'm still working out this new camera angle, you guys. Let me know what you think about it. Like, you know, I see a lot of crafters on YouTube doing the same things. So with my new setup in my craft room, this just worked out a heck of a lot better. So anyways, just making my bow here. Now, what I'm going to do that I didn't film is I am going to attach all of this into the top corner of my little decor piece here. So tying everything up, I'm going to use some hot glue, throw that on there, and then I am going to also use a few of the pine branches and some pine cones that you can see in the top corner there, and that finishes it off. It's so cute.
And Christmas DIY number 6.
Now, this was also on the same DIYandcrafts.com. The poster said that they found it on Etsy. I'm not sure who actually originally created it, though. I couldn't find the Etsy shop. It was closed. But what I did here is I just grabbed a piece of scrap plywood, and I believe it's 6 by 18. And I'm just using my Antique Wax by Waverly and giving it just a quick coat and then taking off the excess with a baby wipe here. And I do all of the sides as well. And then I take my sanding block just to rough it up a little bit. I wanted this one to look, you know, kind of rough and rustic and woodsy. And then cut another decal out on my Cricut here. The word Sleigh is from the Cricut design space. And I will list the fonts that I use down in the description box as well for the bells ring. I'm sorry, I don't remember at this exact moment. All right, and we're just going to place this onto our board here. Now, this is, again, the Smart Vinyl in permanent white. And I had a little bit of trouble actually getting it down. And I think it was because I did not let my board fully dry. So I'm very impatient, you guys. You guys know that. And so I did struggle a little bit getting that final down, but I'm certain it was because it wasn't completely dry. So struggle, struggle, struggle. And there we go. Now, I'm also missing the dot on the eye, but I did find it. It just didn't come up on the transfer tape when I first put it down. And I lost some footage, you guys. I'm so sorry. But I took some of my jute from the Dollar Tree. I hot glued it in the back. I wrapped it around a few times, and then I attached some jingle bells from the Dollar Tree as well to each side of one piece of jute, hot glued it on the top, and then created like a very simple double bow. So I just made 2 simple bows, glued them together, grabbed a few more jingle bells from a package from the Dollar Tree, like those 3 in the middle there, and then, you know, attach those onto another piece of jute. I'm so sorry that I lost all of that footage, but you guys are smart. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I describe it here. And then I'm just using a berry pick from the Dollar Tree and gluing some of those red berries on there, a little bit of the greenery on top, and that is it, you guys. How easy was that? So simple, so pretty. I also put a hook on the back as well, and all done. I love it so much.
All right, everybody, I hope that you're enjoying my top 10 Christmas DIYs from 2021. I just wanted to pop in here really quickly to remind you that if you like home decor on a budget, you know, stuff that looks kind of high end, but really you got the stuff at the dollar store, then you have come to the right place. So make sure you tap that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that your notification bell is set to all so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And I just want to send a huge shout out to all of my breezers out there, all of my old subscribers, my new subscribers, and everybody in between. You guys have stuck with me through a whole year and a half of this craziness. So I love you so much. I love all of your comments. I appreciate you more than you could possibly know. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And with all of that being said, let's get on to the next DIY.
And let's go with DIY number 5. Inspired DIY number 3. Now this one's gonna blow your mind. So these are $130. Now, mind you, the size is very different, and I'm only making one, but using these I guess wooden dowels from Dollarama. These are the square wooden dowels. I used the middle size there, and we're just going to create 2 boxes, use like 2 squares like that, using these wooden dowels. I just used hot glue to do this. There's a whole bunch of reinforcement that's going to happen, which you will see. If you're concerned about stability, then obviously you can use wood glue. I'm just super impatient and obviously needed to get all of this done. So I'm pretty confident that, you know, it's fairly sturdy. And there you can see that I did 2 of them. And here I'm actually going to stain all of these with my Waverly Antique Wax. And just going along, you know, every single nook and cranny, all of the sides, front, back, sides, you know the drill on all of those. And now here is where we are going to create our box. So again, just hot gluing the ends there onto the box. So in total, you need 12 wooden dowels for this project. And I'm sure you could use circular ones too. I don't see why not. These are just really awesome from the Dollarama. I love Dollarama, and I know that you guys down in the States that you don't have it. Things at Dollarama aren't only $1 though. Like everything is under $4. So some things, like I believe these wooden cubes are like $2.50 or something like that for that big package of them with the 3 different sizes. But man, they have amazing crafting supplies there. And so these, I guess they're garden stakes. I'm going to do the same thing, you know, just pouring my antique wax on there. Oh, and then, oh, yes, my daughter Abby had to make an appearance. She was hanging out with me while I was crafting, so. Oh, I love her so much. So here you can see I also cut these garden stakes down with my miter shears so that they are the right size. And I'm just going to create a base for our little present box. So just going along, this will be the bottom obviously, and hot gluing all the way across. And they actually fit quite perfectly on there. And so here I'm just going to, and this is what I'm talking about a little bit more stability, is that I'm hot gluing them like these wooden stakes on each side and using my measuring mat again to make sure that I'm getting them nice and centered. And this is where our ribbon is going to sit when we're actually, you know, wrapping up our little present here. There we go. All right, and now I have these 2 different types of snowflakes. They're both from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, like the more intricate ones there, they might be from last year. I haven't seen them this year, I don't think, but the one that I'm painting right now, like that shape, is definitely new this year. And so I painted all of those with my moss green color, and now with, you know, my chippy brush and some white chalk paint, we are going to bring out all of those gorgeous details, and of course doing front and back. So we're going to do that to all of them and see how like they just look completely different when you put that little dry brush of white on there. I just love how they turned out. They're so pretty. All right, so this ribbon, isn't it gorgeous? I got it at Dollarama as well. And so we're just gonna hot glue that. And then once the hot glue is nice and dry, I did pull this quite tight across those painters or garden stakes, sorry. And then just hot gluing along. Now you can see on the top, I only went across with the garden stakes just one way. I didn't feel it necessary to go both ways. Again, it was mostly just for stability of the ribbon, but pulling it really nice and tight across the top, it worked out just fine. And then hot gluing it at the bottom, cutting off the excess, and doing the exact same thing on the other side. So I don't know do I show you the second? I must. There I go, doing the exact same thing that I did before. So just hot gluing all of those edges, pulling it nice and tight all the way around. And this box is super sturdy, you guys. It is not falling apart at all, even with just using hot glue. But like I said, if you want to use the wood glue as well, you do you. Just makes it even sturdier. See, there it is. Isn't it so pretty? And so here is where we're going to glue our little snowflakes onto the box as well. So just putting a dab of hot glue on either side and securing it on the inside. And this is why we have to paint both sides of the snowflakes, right? Because, you know, you can see right through the box. And just putting one on the kind of the top portion, one on the bottom portion, just like that. One of each shape on each side. And there we go. It's so pretty. I love it. It's so wintry. I wasn't too sure, you know, green snowflakes, but I love how this turned out. Okay, so now for the worst bow tutorial ever. I actually had to watch a bow tutorial before I did this assembly of my bow. So I just took 2 lengths, making my little loops there. And then I have some tails there as well, puffing everything out. And you can see there that I used a zip tie for the center. And then once you have everything all centered and good to go, tighten that zip tie up and then cut off the excess. And these jingle bells I got at Dollarama as well. This is a heavy Dollarama DIY, you guys, but I'm sure you down in the States, you can find this stuff at Hobby Lobby or Joann's. Like, you guys have way more craft stores than we do up in Canada. So hopefully you can find most of the supplies that I'm using here. But you can see there, I just tied some twine around the center of the bow, threaded it through those jingle bells, tied them in a knot, and good to go. And now I'm just dovetailing the ends of the bow here, just like that. And then I am going to use, I'm obsessed with these pine branches, you guys. Just throw a couple of pine branches onto my bow as well. Hot glue them right in there on either side, and then just, you know, kind of squish it, you smush it, you know, squishing it all together there. And then just making a very, very simple bow with some twine to put in the center. Now, I don't show it, you guys, but I do just hot glue my bow onto the top of my present here. And that is it. We are all done. So I cut that price in half on the Kirklands at $65 for one of those. I made mine for under $5. Insane.
All right, and here we go, DIY number 4.
All right, so taking one of these little Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree and using my moss chalk paint by Waverly that Cindy sent me. Thank you again, Cindy. I'm just going to paint this up, just a really rough coat with my chippy brush here. I don't mind that there's a little bit of the wood, like the natural wood that shows through on this tree here. And then I am going to sand it down just a little bit, just to dull the paint color down. And then I am going to take my chippy brush again with some white paint going up and down along my tree here and just distressing it a little bit, making the tree, you know, look a little bit snow covered and just amazingly distressed and gorgeous, giving it dimension and depth. And oh, look at it. It's fantastic. Okay, then again on my Cricut, I cut out this decal that says, "Let's get lit, the tree." It's so cute. But you know what? Again, if you don't like the humor that's in this, do it like put "Oh Christmas Tree" or something like that down the center. It still ends up being a really beautiful decor piece. And this wooden frame thing, I got it at Walmart. It was on sale. I think I paid like $5 for it. It was really, really cheap. I got a couple of them actually. Drilled a hole in the center, and I'm just going to feed these, I I don't know what they're called, like twinkle lights or fairy lights or whatever, from the Dollar Tree. I did hot glue the battery pack on the back. Make sure you do it with the screw up so that you can actually change the batteries out. And then I'm just taking the lights here. Now, I didn't know what hot glue was gonna do to these lights. I don't know, maybe let me know, like, can I put hot glue on these? I just wasn't sure and I didn't want to wreck the lights. So I just used some painter's tape, took the lights all the way around, making sure that, you know, the actual lit part was at the end of every single one of my little branches of my tree so that it would show up and glow behind the tree. So you see here, I did actually turn them on just to make sure, and the spacing between the lights was actually pretty perfect. Like you can see there, it goes all the way across and the lights are in the perfect positions. You see that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. And yeah, just again, going around with my painter's tape and just securing that all down. How cute is this, you guys? Oh my goodness. I think this one is definitely my favorite that I did. I just love this. It's so pretty and it's like, it's really funny. Like I love it. And then to give it that, you know, 3D effect, just using some tumbling tower blocks, hot gluing them to the back, and then hot gluing those to the sign, just like that. And again, of course, you know, we're doing a theme here. So using more of my pine branches and just hot gluing them to the top here. Using my little spatula because, you know, don't want to burn my fingers. And with rearranging my craft room, I legit had no idea where any of my stuff was. So it's a lot better now. I'm much more organized now. But you know, that kind of stuff takes time. And now taking one of these cute little sleigh bells from the Dollar Tree as well. They come in a package of 2, I think they were. And then, you know, you just take the little ornaments apart using some more of the pine cones, hot gluing that all together. And then these little laser cut wood stars from the Dollar Tree as well, throwing that on the top there, you know, adding a little bit more of those pine cones there just to hide that up. And you guys, this is done. How pretty. I love it. And it, you know, the jingle bell jingles and everything. I just think it's so pretty. And let's go with the top 3. Whoop, whoop. So this piece, this is definitely an inspired by. I totally switched this up here. Mostly because I couldn't find all of the letters that I needed to make that Noel sign. But here you can see I just took off a piece of this candy cane wired wreath form, I guess it is, and I'm just kind of finagling with it with my pliers to create a little hook there. And now I have a J and a Y, and we're making the word joy. And so this little plaque thing I also got from the Dollar Tree. I had to sand it up a little bit. They are rough. And then I am taking my Antique Wax by Waverly and just, you know, giving it a coat, wiping it off with my baby wipe. And I wanted it to be a little bit darker, so I did go over it a couple of times with the Antique Wax. And all of the edges as well. There we go. And of course, you know, give it a quick little sand, bring out all of that detail on the edges there. And so now we are going to use our Moss Green by Waverly. I absolutely love this color. This is like my theme, you guys, for Christmas this year. It's like, very, very neutral greens and browns and whites and, beige colors and whatnot. So that's kind of the theme that I'm going for in my home this year. And so I painted up those letters with my moss, and now I'm just taking my chippy brush with some white paint and just going over again, we're bringing out those edges, making it look a little bit rustic. Make sure you do both sides because this is freestanding. And all of the edges, just throw a little tiny little bit of white across it, and it completely changes the look. So now I'm just lining everything up here, and I'm just marking a little spot because I am drilling a hole right through this plank so that my little hook will stick right into it and be like super solid. So I'm just testing it out there just to make sure it's all good. And the wire is actually green, so I wanted just to throw a quick coat of my black chalk paint over top of it just to, make sure everything is all cohesive and whatnot. The green just didn't match. Okay, and so now I'm taking a little bit of hot glue and securing my hook into the hole, and it did go right through, so it was perfect. It worked out absolutely perfectly. And now I'm just putting my letters onto this plank here. Make sure they're all lined up. And now this jingle bell, I got it at the Dollar Tree, and I didn't like the top of it. Like you could see a whole bunch of hot glue on it, and it just looked really kind of nasty. So I'm just going to, make it look a heck of a lot better using other Dollar Tree items. So just using some of those little pine branches and a couple of pine cones from those vase fillers that you can get at the Dollar Tree. These kind of have like a silver edges on them. It's very, very pretty. And then I took a piece of twine there, you saw it, and just, tied a knot in it. And then I'm contemplating some ribbon, and I'm like, nah, that's gonna be too much. And now I'm just going to make a very simple bow with my jute twine, hot glue that in the center of our little jingle bell. And that's it. Like, how easy was that? It's so pretty too. And so you can see the Noel from Kirkland's is $35, and I did my Joy for $5. It's so great.
Christmas Countdown DIY number 2.
Now this beautiful piece was from designdazzle.com on Pinterest. But first of all, let's make this kid earn his allowance.
Seems like he's using my crossword to tell me something.
Oh, maybe we should look at anagrams of the answers.
That's really good, old nasty amiga.
Wait.
He rearranged the letters to make Santiago. He anagrammed me. Jake Crawl.
Isn't he the sweetest guy? Like, what 15-year-old would sit in their mom's craft room and help them sand down some wood for a project? Like, what a good guy. I love him so much. And so these wood rounds I got off of Facebook Marketplace. So these were 10 inches and I got 5 of them for like $20. Smoking deal. They had a whole ton of different sizes as well. So you guys, make sure you are checking Facebook Marketplace. There's a ton of stuff that you can find on there. This was a serious score for real. And so I cut this decal out on my Cricut as well. It says Merry Christmas. And the Merry I got from Design Space, the Christmas I did, I used like just text on my Design Space as well. And then just welded everything together. And putting that on there. Look at that. How pretty is that? It worked perfectly too. Even though it was a rough surface, the vinyl stuck amazingly. That is the white Smart permanent vinyl from Cricut. So amazing. And now using one of these Dollar Tree picks. Now originally I was hoping that I could just, you know, keep it like that and just attach it, you know, right on there, but it was a little bit too thick for my liking. So I do end up just, you know, dismantling it here and just using a few of the picks. So you see, I'm just kind of finagling, and then no, I'm just going to use a few of them. And then I grabbed some of these pine branches as well from the Dollar Tree. If you can find these pine branches, you guys, pick them up. They go very, very fast, and I love them. Like, I'm going to be using them in a ton of projects. They're such high quality. They have kind of like a frosted look to them, like so pretty. And there you can see I got a little bit of hot glue on there, but I just, you know, melted it off with my heat gun, and it's like it never happened. And so here I'm just arranging my berry picks here and just trying to figure out placement. But what I did was, it's solid wood, right? So I just grabbed my staple gun and I'm stapling these bad boys right to the wood so that they're nice and secure. And then I just clip off the excess wire stem there, just arranging them to where I want them and smash them with my staple gun. And then, you know, just to arrange them a little bit nicer, using some hot glue on those leaves there just to tack them down. And again, staple gun with that big pine cone there. And because they're on wire stems, you guys, just, you know, you arrange them however you want. And you can see here to cover up those stems, just using some more of those pine branches. Look at that. And just hot gluing those down into place. I grabbed a few more of the red berries as well. And like I said, those pine branches, they are such a good filler for these floral arrangements. You guys know, like, I don't feel like I'm a very good floral arranger, but you know, these turned out actually really, really beautiful. And again, just using some of those red berry picks from Dollar Tree, you know, filling in where I feel like it needs a little bit more color. Hot glue it down. Throw in that berry pick there. There we go. How pretty is this? Oh my goodness sakes. I just adore this so much. And then again, you know, filling in all of those spaces with those pine branches. I did cut them down a little bit too, just to, you know, make them fit into the spots that I needed just a little bit more. Hot glue it down. And that is it, you guys, for this floral arrangement. Look at that, hey? It's so, so pretty. And now I just grabbed a couple of tumbling tower blocks to stand this up, and that's it. Oh, it's so gorgeous.
And here it is, DIY number 1.
So we are going to take one of these kind of brass looking rings, like wreath forms. I got them at the Dollar Tree back in the spring, but they usually have them, you know, kicking around in the craft section. And I got these lamb's ear on Amazon. I know that, you know, people down in the States can get the lamb's ear from Walmart. I don't know if it's just not in Canada, but I cannot find it in a single one of my Walmarts, and we have a bunch in our city. So yeah, it's really bizarre, but you know, you deal with what you have. And I'm just placing those onto the wreath using zip ties so that, you know, if I want to switch things out, maybe put some ivy on it instead, or you know, any kind of different Christmas florals, you know, switch it up every year, then I can do that. And so I did that on both sides with my lamb's ear and the zip ties. And now I'm taking some of these berry picks these ones are from Dollarama. I know that Dollar Tree definitely does have something that is quite similar. And I'm just kind of arranging these in with the lamb's ear. You know, tucking it in there, and then I will secure those picks with the zip ties as well. So, you know, just finagling around, making sure that everything looks good. And like I said, I will just thread those through, grab a zip tie, and around the stem so that it's nice and secure. Isn't this so pretty, you guys? I'm telling you, this is probably the most beautiful thing I've ever made. I love it so much. It's so gorgeous. And so after that's all done, just grab my wire cutters and cut the bottom of the ring in half. And then taking one of these wooden blocks that I got at the Dollar Tree, I'm just going to put a couple of holes, kind of like a third up on two sides, because what we're going to do, as you can see here, is just, you know, place the wire of that wreath form in there and make sure it's nice and secure. So I put some E6000 on there and then just pushing that through so that the E6000 goes into the holes so that the wreath form does not move at all, and it's nice and snug and secure in there. And then you see here, using those zip ties, I can just pull the greenery down to the bottom of the ring, and it's perfect. And so here I'm just using some of these gold ornaments that I got at the Dollar Tree and some ribbon as well. This is kind of like a burlap and gold and cream colored ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just threading that through the top of the ornament. And then I am just going to hot glue that tail, you know, right, like the ribbon right to itself, if that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing, you know. I did that. And then just cutting that off, and we're going to do that to all three of our ornaments here. So then just grabbing some hot glue, putting some hot glue onto the wreath form, and then putting the ribbon on there, and then again hot gluing the remainder down the ribbon. So you can see here, hot glue, and then putting the ribbon around, and then hot gluing the ribbon to itself so that it does not move. And there you can see things are falling all over the place. And so I did 3 different lengths. You'll see in the reveal shot how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. It's in my living room right now, and I honestly cannot stop staring at it. It's so, so pretty. Now, taking a couple of pieces of the lamb's ear as well, I did cut them down a little bit. So it's like kind of half of one of those sprigs that we used at the beginning. And I zip tied them together. So we're just making a teeny little swag here. And I am hot gluing a little bit of those berries into the middle there. And we're going to put that on the very, very top of our wreath form, just to cover up where the ribbons are attached, and zip tie that on to the wreath form. And that is it, you guys. It's so easy and it makes such a statement. I love this piece seriously so much. It is so gorgeous.
Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you let me know which one of these was your favorite in the comments, and stay tuned for the gag reel. Bye, guys. I think we should move this up. It's cutting off the top of my head. Better? And I just want to send a huge shout out. Okay. I'm kind of off kilter. Okay. Let's roll, man. Gosh, it's been a while, you guys. It's been a while. I missed you. I missed you so much. Oh my goodness. And so next week, I will have some new Christmas projects for you guys. I know that, we're rolling right in there, pop right into Christmas. There's no snow on the ground yet, and I'm in Saskatchewan. So that's saying a lot for, the middle of October. But yes, we'll have some new projects for you next week. I've been in my craft room and I'm getting inspired, so make sure your notifications are on. All right, everyone. Everyone? Oh my God. Okay, okay. Concentrate. Center yourself. Let's do it. All right, everybody. I sure hope that you guys right there are enjoying these DIYs. Yeah, so COVID got me, which is why I'm sure you've noticed I have not uploaded a video in 3 weeks. Man, it took me out. I was off work for 5 days. I just have no energy. I still have the voice. Like, dude. See, that's like perfect. Oh no, where? Perfect focus, right? No. I don't know. My camera is whack, man. My camera is whack. I wonder how long this is going to hold on for, because I'm feeling like I have that, raspy, sexy Phoebe voice. If there's any Friends fans out there, you remember when she got a cold and she sounded all sexy? Yeah, that's me right now. Thanks so much for watching.